Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why I've decided that I'm going to do a round of Whole30 in January. First I wanted to talk about the fact that I've actually already done a round of Whole30, but I haven't done it in years. It was probably about 2 years ago that I did my first round of Whole30, and so I just wanted to go ahead and make this little kind of introduction because I am going to share videos throughout this month about my journey on Whole30. So if you've ever considered it or you just have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and just kind of explain real quick what Whole30 is and my first experience with it and why I'm choosing to do it again. So first, for those of you who are not aware of what Whole30 is, just bare minimum, the basics is that it is 30 days where you really restrict your diet. You take a lot of foods that have been known to cause irritations within your body, inflammation, that sort of thing. You take those out of your diet for 30 days, and then after the 30 days, you are supposed to do a reintroduction period when you slowly introduce those things that you've taken out back into your diet and you see how you react to those foods. So the whole point of it is to get back to eating whole foods. You take out all processed foods, no sugar, no alcohol, no grains, no legumes, no soy. You do not weigh yourself for 30 days. I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't remember right now. But if you're interested, the book that I read that first got me interested in it was called It Starts With Food. I'll go ahead and link it down below. But that book explains the entire process and reasoning behind Whole30. So like I said, I did do a round of Whole30 a few years ago. Actually at the time I was doing Beachbody. I was actually a Beachbody coach, and a couple of the girls on my team had decided that they were going to try Whole30 because they were having some health issues, and they had heard that Whole30 could kind of help, they would help them figure out which foods were causing them to have certain issues that they were dealing with. And I just read the book and got really inspired and decided to do the same. However, I did my full 30 days to a T. I made sure I had no sugar, no alcohol, everything I kept out. Oh, one of the big ones I forgot was dairy, no dairy. So I did really good for my whole 30 days. There were times when it was hard, obviously. Actually, like throughout the whole thing, it was pretty hard. In the beginning, I was really nervous that I was going to miss a lot of the foods, which of course you do have cravings during the process, but I actually didn't miss them as much as I thought that I would. And I felt great by the time I finished my 30 days. However, I kind of messed it up because I didn't take the reintroduction period seriously, and so during my 30 days before I had started, I had told myself, okay, it's only 30 days. When I finish the 30 days, I can just go ahead and eat what I want again. And I thought that after doing it for 30 days that I could eat what I wanted and I would still continue to eat healthy and just every once in a while eat what I wanted. That is not what happened. So I kept looking forward to the last day. And the last day came and I ate a bunch of junk and went right back to my old habits. I never really introduced things. I never found out how my body reacted to certain things. I just went back to eating the same crap that I was already eating prior to doing Whole30. So this time I really want to do it the way that you're supposed to. And I want to use these 30 days to, again, eliminate the stuff. I already know it makes me feel good. I know it's good for me. Yes, it would be great if I could lose weight, but that's not the reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to be healthy. I've mentioned on this channel before that I am turning 30 this year. I will be 30 in December. And so I just really want to spend this last year in my 20s focusing on me and getting myself healthy mentally, physically. I just want to feel really good and confident with myself and be able to do the things that I want to do and travel when I want to travel and play with the kids when I want to play with the kids without being tired. So that is the main reason I am doing another round of Whole30. And then also my sisters are going to be doing it with me too, so that's always fun to have somebody else along with you to help motivate you and keep each other accountable. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. So if you want to see a more in-depth video of my first experience, let me know in the comments and I will definitely go ahead and film that for you guys. So far I have grocery hauls, meal ideas, and what I eat in the days planned, and then I'll also be doing a before and after as far as symptoms go. I'll also be taking before and after pictures that I will be sharing with you guys, and I just hope that this helps anyone out there who is watching this who is either thinking about starting Whole30 or is in your Whole30 journey, or in any health journey really. I hope that this helps you or inspires you in some way. Just saw, I just went through my fridge to see what we had. A lot of this stuff is very obvious whether it's not allowed or not. Like for example, up here we have some alcohol left over from when my friends were here. Obviously that is not allowed on Whole30, so we will either be drinking those prior to starting Whole30, or honestly I don't have an issue with not drinking alcohol, so I'll probably just refrain from drinking it while we do Whole30 and just leave it in there. It's not something I'm tempted to have, so that's fine being in there. All the soy milk is for the kids, so that will not be going anywhere. Eggs are allowed, obviously. Some of the stuff like these biscuits and stuff are for Christmas. They're things we wouldn't normally get. The sausage as well. So those are not Whole30 approved, but they will be eaten ahead of time because I already have plans for them. Syrup obviously is not allowed. It is a type of sugar. We have some applesauce back there, which again, everything I've left in here is not stuff that I feel tempted to have, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in the fridge and either give it to the kids or just save it for when we're done if I do decide to add it back in. If I don't, then I can always do something with it later. Vegetables and fruits are allowed, so those are all good to go. But I did pull out some stuff here on the counter that I wanted to kind of go over. First, I just wanted to talk about what I was looking at when I was looking at the ingredients. So we'll just go ahead and use this salsa, for example. So this has crushed tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, diced tomatoes, in tomato juice, onions, distilled vinegar, salt, dehydrated onions, garlic, natural flavoring. So I've been looking at ingredient lists for Whole30, and I know that all of those ingredients are allowed on Whole30. So that is a safe item that I can keep. My salsa is fine. I also checked these mustards. These two mustards are fine. This Red's hot sauce I know is okay. I lived on it when we did our first Whole30. Let me just double check real quick. The ingredients are cayenne red peppers, distilled vinegar, water, salt, and garlic powder. The main ingredient you're gonna find that you're not expecting is sugar. Sugar is just like in everything, it feels like as you can see, all of this food that I just took out of my fridge, only this right here, this first row, is stuff that was approved. Everything else you see on the counter is stuff I pulled out just because I wanted to show you it, but it's not approved. So again, some of this stuff is obvious. Tortillas can't have sour cream, dairy, cheese. This turkey I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys about. So I just checked the ingredients because you cannot have nitrates, sulfates, all that stuff. And if you look at the front of this package, it says no artificial ingredients, no nitrates, no nitrites. So I thought it might be okay, but I was reading the ingredients, and as you can see, the ingredients are turkey breast, turkey broth, and then it says contains 2% or less of vinegar, salt, carrageenan, sugar, natural flavoring. So carrageenan is definitely a no-go. Sugar is definitely a no-go. And I'm a little disappointed because I never noticed that before, and I'm kind of conscious of the ingredients ever since I did my first round of Whole30, and carrageenan is something I try my best not to have in our diets, and I had no idea that was in there. So I just wanted to pull that out as an example of certain things that might seem like they're fine, but they are not. And then also like string cheese, I'm gonna keep this for the kids. I'm gonna keep the bread for the kids. But as far as like the cream cheese, sour cream, that stuff, we don't really eat a whole lot of dairy normally. And the only reason we have that right now is because we had friends over. So we're just gonna try to use that up in different recipes before we start Whole30. And then I'm just planning on not getting it again. So that is kind of where we're at with the fridge. Alright, so I've pretty much gone through the entire pantry. We've got some potatoes and stuff in there. That's all compliant. All of these are mostly grains. We've got some quinoa, rice, and stuff, but we do have some sliced almonds that we can have. Up here is just a bunch of ramen, so we're going to try to use that up, but if we don't, we'll donate it or whatever. And then these are tunas and salmon that and then we have a giant bag of almonds, which is great. Most of the stuff up here we won't be able to have. It's like mostly my baking stuff. We've got like pastas and rices and stuff in here, which is fine. Again, I'm not tempted by that. I'm going to keep it, especially the peanut butter and stuff for the kids. But that'll all be fine to stay in here. Up on this top shelf, we have some popcorn, which I'm just not going to touch. I'm not tempted to eat popcorn, so that'll be fine. And then the cereal and oatmeal and stuff is for the kids. I'm not going to get rid of that. They can go ahead and keep having that. I do think I might go through these cans because sometimes there is sugar and stuff hidden in some of these things. So I might go through my cans in a minute. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave them because, again, it's not something I'm tempted to have. I usually just go and look through my cans when I need them for a recipe. So that's pretty much everything. Our biggest thing is going to be snacks. Again, we actually don't normally get a lot of snacks, but because we had so many guests and stuff, we did get quite a few snacky items. And so I need to go through here and I'm going to basically just split them up between the kids so that they can eat them and refrain. I really have no choice. I'm just going to go ahead and put them back up on the top shelf. And whatever the kids don't eat right now before we start Whole30, we'll save and I'll go ahead and put in my kids' lunches and stuff. And then over here I set some stuff aside. We had a big pack of dates that we can go ahead and use for recipes on Whole30. And then also this crystals I checked and it is compliant. So I set those aside. This stuff right here is stuff that we have planned for Christmas. So that isn't a problem. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go through all of this stuff. What I've noticed the most after doing this is that we don't have a lot of compliant Whole30 items. So I think this was a good start to go ahead and see what we're in need of, what we need to use up. We definitely have enough food for the next, 10 days or so before January 1st when we start Whole30. So I think that we'll be able to get rid of most of this stuff before then. Oh, I set this stuff aside too because obviously pasta isn't allowed, but I'm going to keep it for the kids. And then this pasta sauce and this salsa both had sugar in it, which is really unfortunate because we just got these from Costco. And honestly, I don't think we're going to use it up before we start Whole30. So I'm just going to save it for after. Yes, I don't want to add sugar back to my diet, but I think having sugar in items like salsa and stuff, it's not the end of the world, and the point of me doing Whole30 isn't to completely eliminate them forever. So I'm just going to save those until after when I'm ready to reintroduce sugar, then I'll go ahead and have those items. So that's going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I think it's just really nice, or not nice, but it's really helpful to go through everything that you have before you start Whole30. Make sure you don't keep anything in the house that you're going to be tempted to have. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me because I do have kids and I don't want my kids feeling deprived. I don't feel like they need to be on a crazy diet. They shouldn't be restricting what they're eating. If they still want to have some snacks and some treats, they should be able to. And so I'm just going to have self-control, and that's pretty much that. So now that I've cleaned everything out, I'm just gonna go ahead and inventory what I need to get, and you guys will go ahead and see that video next week because I will be doing a grocery haul, stocking up on all my Whole30 staples and meal ideas. So look forward to that video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're doing Whole30 too, or you're doing you're on some kind of health journey, go ahead and leave me a comment below and we can kind of keep each other accountable and motivate each other. And I always think it's much better to do when you have other people to do it with.